So now that we've covered that portion of the game, let's start talking about raiding with, I think, the easiest raid to get into. I already mentioned Wintergrasp. Now there is a dungeon that unlocks whenever your faction owns Wintergrasp. So if you are lucky enough to be on a server where it's at least even, so it's like 50-50, you are going to have access to the Vault of Archavon, which, especially when it comes to tier 7, it's a very short dungeon. You're only going to be able to clear one of the bosses there. And honestly, it's a piece of cake to get into groups like that, especially if you are playing a class that isn't so high in demand. Now, especially when it comes to tier 7, most of the groups that you're going to encounter are going to be groups that aren't even going to go for a 25-man, but more of like a 17, 18 people raid. The reason for that is because you want to kind of just have one of each spec in the raid, and this is roughly the number of people that you're going to need for that, so that like whenever there is an item dropping for each spec, it's pretty much just one person that needs it. Another thing you can do is go for a class run, since there's only 10 classes in Wrath of the Lich King. Doing a VOA 10 is very straightforward too. Whenever there's something dropping for your class, you're going to be the only person that's going to end up needing it. So those runs are very easy to get. You pretty much just need like a 3k gear score character, and the dungeon pretty much just drops like emblem pieces and then also some PvP pieces. On my priest in the first week, I got pretty lucky, but then also unlucky. I just got a PvP chest, which honestly, it's pretty nice if I got it on the first day, but I think I got it like day 3, so it wasn't so impactful. But you definitely want to use your VOA on lock. And then for the other dungeons, it really just depends on how you're playing. I think especially when it comes to the first week, getting into raids, it's gonna be a tough one if you want to do it with pugs. So we pretty much have like two options. You're either gonna go for like a half finished like raid log, and you're gonna do a little bit of Naxxramas, but it really just depends on how lucky you got with your pug. Or the other option is going to be you're going to try and get close to pre-raid biz items and then actually go with like a decent group, which honestly, especially with Wrath of the Lich King, it's going to take you like 15 to maybe 20 hours, and you got like 10 days after Wrath launches, and it's very, very straightforward to get into that once you reach level 80. So I guess at that point, it's just going to be up to you for you to decide. Another thing that I do want to mention though is that most of the like pre-mates, they do require you to buy a flask. They do require you to, at least in the first week, use up haste potions, maybe even pre-pot. So that is going to be like another maybe like 600 gold that you need to account for, as well as getting like full enchants and full like gems going.